Thanks, sir, for making time for us. I know you're a very busy man, especially with the decision today. This interview will be very basic. It's really just the defense's reaction to the decision today and maybe some steps forward. So maybe just to start, sir, could we ask the defense's reaction to the rejection of the appeal today?
Well, we're not really surprised about today's decision given the politics currently at play. The court is essentially in an existential crisis, what with institutional sanctions on the threshold. Also, the current chief prosecutor fighting his battle to return to the office of the prosecutor when half his own office doesn't even want him back. The practical effect of allowing the appeal would have basically meant voiding the court's docket. There's nothing going on at this court apart from one case of a Libyan human trafficker.
Are there any other remedies for your client to attempt to stop the investigation?
Well, as far as jurisdiction is concerned, that's the end of the road. We have the decision on the confirmation of charges, which is due to be delivered in the coming days. Obviously, we haven't received any notification of what might happen with respect to that. But I'm, as I said, try to be optimistic, but I learn from experience.
Can you tell us about the last time you met your client? And of course, he's probably aware that the hearing was set.
Yeah, of course, he's aware, and he's aware of the chances today of success. Once again, from a political point of view. From a legal point of view, there are many issues that I could possibly raise, but I'm not sure that it would interest the readership too much. We are settled for a trial. We believe that this is the only way that we're going to be able to return the former president back to the Philippines. We maintain everything that we argued at confirmation, and we believe that the evidentiary weaknesses that we identified at confirmation will lead ultimately to his acquittal.
How will the former president proceed mindset-wise, considering we know that he does not recognize the court's jurisdiction over him?
Well, he doesn't recognize the court's jurisdiction over him because he's a Filipino citizen, and he believes that he should have been tried and brought before a Filipino court. He even said that when he was arrested. We argue unlawfully rendition, but when he was arrested on a plane when he returned back from Hong Kong, he is not shirking accountability. He says, if I've done something wrong, I'm quite happy to be tried in front of a Filipino court.
Given the successive setbacks for the defense, what do you expect from the confirmation of charges decision?
Well, once again, I can only look at it in the political context of this court, and the stakes are just too high for the court just to throw the case out. I have to be realistic. I believe in everything that we argued. I believe the charges should not be confirmed, but practically speaking, we are ready for trial. We are preparing for trial. And the evidentiary weaknesses, which I identified at confirmation, we believe will ultimately lead to his acquittal.
May I ask you to elaborate just a little bit more on what you mean on the political dimension? Is it like domestic politics in the Philippines or the politics in the ICC?
The politics of the ICC.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I've clarified quite frankly. I mean, this court is in a state of crisis at the moment. The only thing that it has currently in its docket of substance is the case against the former president of the Philippines. There's no one else here in the detention centre. Bear in mind that you have a pre-trial chamber, you also have a trial chamber. I would say there's somewhere in the region of 5 to 7 judges who are in the trial chamber with nothing to do at the present moment in time. So they have to justify their workload. And obviously there will be a trial chamber set up in order to try the former president once charges are confirmed. And that will keep the court occupied for the years to come. But obviously, there's also the case of the Libyan human trafficker, El Hishri, which was fast-tracked as well to confirmation. So the court, don't forget, gets a huge budget. It has to justify its budget. And also, this is almost, I would say, a finger in the eye to the Americans. The Americans are threatening to destroy the court. And here is the ICC saying, we're still here, we're still operating.
Well, we're on the topic of other cases as well, and this is more of a question on international law. What implications do you think the decision today has on future investigations of the ICC?
Well, one issue that we found slightly problematic in today's judgment was the issue of whether or not a preliminary examination is a matter before the court. What the appeals chamber failed to do, in our opinion, was to detail or set out or stipulate the threshold for when a preliminary examination becomes a matter before the court, such that post-withdrawal an investigation can be opened. At the present moment in time, we feel that it's so amorphous that post-withdrawal an investigation may open just not 1 year down the line, but 20 years down the line, and obviously that's not the intent of the Rome Statute.
Okay. Since you already mentioned that you're preparing for trial, should it happen, we also want to know, will you still be working as the former president's chief legal?
At the present moment in time, yes.
Okay. And so, just to put on record, if there will be a trial, you will still be working with him?
Correct.
All right. And we were outside just for a bit. It was quite emotional for the supporters of the former president. Do you have any message for them, maybe from the former president himself?
Well, the former president, as I said, is stoical. We informed him yesterday regarding the chances of success on his appeal. We're also stoical. Sometimes you feel as if you're banging your head against the wall at this court. You can argue as hard as you want and present the strongest legal arguments that you want, but ultimately you're faced with political dimensions which are beyond your control. But the former president is emboldened by his strong support and his base of supporters who celebrated his 81st birthday en masse. That was a beautiful celebration. Unlike the victims' representatives who have tried to portray his supporters as bloodthirsty Duterte clones. I mean, that's their language, it's not my language. They are peace-loving people who have showered the victims and everyone alike with flowers and love.
Para sa Pilipino, walang fake news.